You're seeing me and you're reading into my soul.
Yes. Also, I appreciate that you have a playful nature, much like that of a 15-year-old boy.
Wow, thank you. Does that make you want to fuck me?
No. All right.
All right, well, we're in here. That's the end. I always ruin it. I always ruin it every time. Well, welcome to another episode of Gib Gabs. I am joined here by one of my best comedy buds. You can see him all over the place. He's so talented. He's so funny. You can see him doing comedy. You can also see him on the radio. Where can they see him? Where can they see you?
See me on the radio.
Where can they hear you, Kevin?
You can hear me anywhere you are. It's not just exclusive to Chicago, but in Chicago, 101.1 FM, 101 WKQX, one of the leading alternative music radio stations in the world.
Wow.
And you can listen to us. You want to look for that logo right there. All right, you want to look for that.
Wow.
And we're on your phone.
One more time.
One more time.
Hit
Hit 'em with
over
it.
there, right there. You're looking for that logo. We're on all the apps. We have our own app. You can listen to us on the iFart. You can listen to us on TuneIn. You can listen to us on iHeart, and also on your Alexa smart speakers too. So radio is no longer radio has never been a dying medium, despite what someone who wrote a paper in your media studies class wants you to believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. I feel you got mad at me. We do a lot of road gigs together, and it was not programmed into my radio. And boy, did he lose his cool.
I did, because it was like I thought we were friends.
Well, yeah, we are friends. But I sometimes I turn it to it.
Okay.
And then when I know you're on,
Yeah.
I like to listen to it, and
Thank
I get excited. I'm like, I know if the kids I nanny are in the car, I'm like, I know this guy. And we're friends. I know him.
And they're just like, no, we want to hear Baby Shark again.
Yeah, put it on Baby Shark, and then you listen to it. But I still didn't program it. I gotta get my country. I gotta have at least 3 countries on me.
3 countries.
3 country stations
You
on
got
the
3
queue.
countries on the queue.
On the queue, I gotta line them up.
You want the difference between? I love when you get outside of a big city, you get these radio stations that are like, we're country and variety.
Oh yeah.
Meaning that you're gonna get into like a small town in Missouri and half the dial is already country. So how do we pivot in the market? We're country, but then we're also gonna play other music that white women want to hear.
Which is just, it's only 80s. I feel like if they're like in a variety and it's country music, they're like, we're gonna play like Sheryl Crow, like 80s.
We're still
Sheryl
gonna play
Crow.
someone who's vaguely referencing denim. You know what I mean? Like that's what's going on.
I'm trying to go more denim on denim. I've been trying to make it happen for a while. I'll put it on, and then I'll be like, no, it's too daring, and then I put it back.
Too daring?
It's too daring. I put it back. I'm like,
It's too Canadian.
it's too Canadian.
Too Canadian.
I can't do it.
It's too Canadian.
Canadians are good people.
Yes,
How have you been? How was your day? What did you do?
Well, I do 101 WKQX stuff. I'm busy with that. We just announced a few weeks ago a concert called Picnic, which will be in June. And the rollout of that has been really, really fun and exciting, because you ever know when I have this really cool show coming up, but you can't say anything until we do this. It's sort of the same idea.
But now you're telling it on this podcast for the masses?
It's been out there for a while. And we got real lucky, because I think we announced our show, which is June 15th in Tinley Park, Illinois, a few weeks before Lollapalooza came out. And you always kind of compete with, what are the other big shows in the summer and stuff like that. So I think we got a really good one.
Yeah. Oh, that should be summer should be a hot commodity for you, right? Because you're doing all the fests.
I do I'll do that. I'll work at Lollapalooza, and then I'll do Riot Fest. So, and those are that's 3 huge weekends right there.
Yeah. So bing, bam, boom.
And then our day, Picnic is like a whole day of stuff.
Do you have an actual picnic, or is that cheesy?
The show is called Picnic.
Yeah. So it's
with
themed
2
picnic?
Q's, because we're clever. See, because we're 101 WKQX. We took out the C's, then we put in the Q's.
Oh my gosh.
And then,
did someone get a promotion? I hope someone got a promotion for that.
What? Who are the ad wizards that came up with this? Listen, we have to brand it and make it ours.
Pull him up from the mailroom. This guy's an innovator. Put him in the mic.
$1 million ideas, and that guy's now my boss.
Hey, Tony.
So yeah. We have the Lumineers. We have Young the Giant. We have, I think, a really just great mix of really, really cool music, 2 stages, and a lot of festivals are so expensive. This one is really, really cost effective.
Really? When is it?
It's June 15th, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater.
Okay.
So it's in Tinley Park. It's open air. So that really helps too, and it's 10 bands for $20.
That is a good deal.
So if you just want lawn seats, it's amazing.
And I feel like that's a good time, even if because I don't know anybody who you just mentioned, and I know I'd have a good time even if I went there.
And if you're going for like 2 or 3 bands, some of these bands will play clubs on their own, and the tickets are like $20 or $30 if you're going to see them at like the House of Blues. Imagine we got all of those bands on one bill, and you can see all of them for $20.
Yeah.
So insane. It's. We get it. I feel like we're getting away with something, but and it's
do you get to meet everybody?
A little bit. I meet them professionally. I still have to do that thing when I meet bands I really care about, and that I'm like, oh no, I'm meeting them professionally. Like I can't like act like that.
You go bass voice.
I go hello.
My name is Kevin
Munford and his sons. How are you? Yeah. So
people say I look 27, but I'm 35.
I have some people say that, but then if I have a really puffy eye day, you look 38. you know, depends.
And I think for me, every day's a puffy eye day. Do you ever catch a goddamn glimpse of yourself when you're at those Target checkout lines, those god awful cameras?
You look down and you see where you have to check yourself out, and you like can see your reflection.
That one's fine. That one I'm okay with.
I don't like it because it's me looking at a picture of myself as I'm literally paying for an entire bag of M&Ms that I'm going to eat by myself, you know, like that type of thing.
That's the angle your dick sees. Isn't that sad? That's what it sees when it looks up at your face.
You opened up hot with the sexual tension, and now you're jumping right to this.
I can't help it. It's my clutch. It's what I go to. It's what I know.
It's not your clutch. It's the crotch.
It's the crotch. That's my crotch.
You're not a clutch player. You're a crotch player. That's good.
I just discovered I was wearing the same pair of underwear for 27 years, so I actually didn't know I had a crotch, and then I took them off, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't know that's been down there this whole time. So it's like all kind of new to me.
You're going through a lot. I'm
just kidding.
I didn't know.
That never happened to me.
But it's just a really busy time. And then I work for a different wrestling website called WrestleZone. Okay. So so I just really only do things that I want to do now. Yeah,
which is, I think that's why I love you, and I feel like that like radiates off of you, because I feel like you're kind of like a big kid, and you're like you do things like you love. Yeah. And because you had wanted to be in radio for how long?
Oh God. I was real little. So in Chicago, like in the 80s and 90s, there was just a lot of radio itself was really, really good. We were particularly good. And nationally, Chicago's known for being just like a great radio town. People get really attached. Like before podcasts, sort of like how you have those shows you listen to. You want people to listen to the show and feel the same way. And radio at the time had that. And there was a great station called The Loop. And The Loop, RIP, I got to work a little bit behind the scenes and promotions for it, and all these different things. It had these great personalities on it, and I'm a little kid. I'm like, this is like pre-10.
Wait, you were working on that before you were 10?
No, years ago, before I was on air with the station. I got to work marketing, and not on air, but
you were in. But
I was raised listening to it.
Wow. Yeah.
So I'm listening to it, and there's all these great personalities, and what I don't understand is why they're funny. I don't understand why they're making adults laugh. I'm like 8 or 7. Yeah. I'm trying to call in, and they're like, you're like an 8-year-old kid, and you want to like call into the show where we're talking to, Jackie Chan or something like that. I just wanted, I remember, it was just like, I want to make people laugh that way. It was vague. Yeah. And then Richard Roper, do you know who he is? He was, Ebert, Roger Ebert, he used to have the movie reviews and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So after his main partner, Siskel, passed away, he became Ebert and Roper. Okay. And Roper was a big columnist for the Sun-Times, but then would do weekend shows on The Loop. And I want to say I'm 8 or 9, and I would mimic I just watched comedy and listened to radio, and liked the things I liked were the only thing I wanted to do. So I was just, all right, I'm going to listen to the radio. Yeah. No one's around. I was told I couldn't watch TV because I watched too much of it, so now I'm going to listen to the radio all the time. And it was like the week. I want to say the weekend like Frank Sinatra passed away, or it was like his big birthday. And Phil Hartman was on SNL, and he would do this. As a little kid, I would do an impression of Phil Hartman's Frank Sinatra. I would just do the lines I saw him do on SNL. Are you
serious?
Yeah.
Do you still do them to this day?
I can't. I don't think I can. But I mean, I just remember doing it. It would crack my family up at parties.
That's so awesome.
I remember my mom and my dad are in the other side of our neighborhood at my grandparents' house for a party, and my sister's watching me and maybe my cousins, and Ropert's on, and he's talking about Sinatra. And so I call in and I just start doing the impression for the phone screener.
How old were you? At what age?
8 or 9,
okay.
maybe.
Wow.
So then they go, oh, we're gonna put you on, and then I'm on with Roper, and then a year later I'm on for my birthday, and Roper thought it was really funny, and then I got to meet him when I graduated Columbia College, and I went there to get a degree in radio.
Okay.
So I just knew I wanted to do radio. I knew I wanted to do stand up. I really like wrestling, so I do a podcast about it now for WrestleZone.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like radio is a thing that's broken my heart a lot, but I really really like it.
Yeah.
I really like the idea of just talking and a song comes on and I can say something before that kind of piques your interest in it in a different way.
Yeah. And then afterwards, that's crazy that you knew. I didn't realize it was that deep, that you've known your entire life.
I remember I was like 10 or 11. I told my mom I wanted to do it.
Wow. Were they super proud when you got into it and they're like, this is what my baby always wanted to do?
My dad was. I'm not saying my mom wasn't.
Yeah.
My mom was just healthfully doubtful. I wouldn't say she was doubtful, like you're not going to do that. But she had a healthy sense that no, I don't want you to invest yourself completely in this. I don't want you to get hurt by it.
And they're realistic. They're like, well, you need health insurance to do. Are you getting your health insurance? And it's more important than pay sometimes. It's more important than pay.
It is something I still get talked
about.
Yep.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
Same.
And my dad worked for Blue Cross for 40 years.
Oh, okay.
As we crack open another one.
You know, your health's important.
Here's to your health insurance.
To your health. Yeah. But I think all good dreams, I think you love it with all your heart, but it also hurts you. Like sometimes I hate comedy, and then I'm like, should I be hating it? Should I?
And I'm doing stand-up with you, which is also another thing. So I'm just chasing a lot of these things that I would say are fulfilling, but I wouldn't say fleetingly fulfilling.
Yeah.
The times when I've been fulfilled by doing radio work and doing comedy things have centered me so well.
Yeah.
And there was a period. We'll get into it, but it was just there was a lot of setbacks with radio.
Okay.
A lot of setbacks.
Okay.
That I've made by myself and have been made before I got there, and they were just circumstantial.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of stories. You know who Charlemagne the God is?
Yeah,
Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club. Yeah,
great radio guy.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. And he has, I forgot the name of his book. He has 2 books. I'm on the second one now, but the whole first one is talking about his journey, and he got fired from so many radio jobs, and each one, he was taking out loans, and he had like his wife and his kids, and then he's like, oh, now I'm back home living with my mom, and now he's like Charlemagne.
I don't think I could live the life I live with a wife or a child.
Yeah.
And those are the things I'm like, am I selfish because I don't have those things, and I'm at a certain age in my life. I'm supposed to have this, or I'm supposed to have that, and then I'm like, am I really? You said I'm a big kid. I was like, yeah, I'm a big kid.
Yeah.
I know who I am, and I know the things I'm doing are. I would say I'm a big kid at heart.
Yeah.
But I hope I'm smarter than I've ever been.
No.
I hope I'm wiser. I hope I'm a little bit tougher than I have been before. I still have all my same character weaknesses and stuff like that, and I don't deny them. I'm just more aware of them probably.
Well, I think that's what makes you mature. I think it's good that you've kept your kid, because I forgot who I was talking to. Someone said that we're all trying to like keep that little kid. It's like level up and grow, but like keep that child, like that they're like wanting and like creativeness and like goofiness and playfulness. Like, do you ever like think of yourself? Sometimes I'll like think of myself as a child, almost like it's like a different person, and be like, oh, I hope like she'd think this is cool. Sometimes I'll do that with comedy. I'll be
little Becca
would like this. She'd think it, even if it's like people are like, if I'm thinking like, oh, these people are gonna think this about me, I'm thinking, well, she probably would.
Like you literally just have this idea where it's like you can go back in time and just tell yourself like you're gonna be able to do all these different things, and they're gonna be great, and this guy's gonna hurt your this guy's
gonna break your little baby heart.
I've had that daydream a handful of times.
Yeah, that like your little. Do you think he'd be proud of you? That little Kev?
I don't think he'd pay attention to me.
You do, even with you on the radio, even though that's what he
knows him. My immediate mind is like my ADD was probably so bad that I was
you're like, la la la.
Are you action figures? Are you Hulk Hogan? Are you on Saturday Night Live? No, bye.
dirt.
Exactly.
Digging in the dirt.
Yeah.
Was that you as a child?
Play with my guys. We don't call them dolls. We call them guys.
I used to play with action figures.
Yeah,
back in the army.
It was different.
The GI Joes.
It's different from dolls.
I called them dolls.
What?
I called them my dolls' lovers. The lovers to my dolls.
The gentleman caller to your Barbie.
Oh, hello.
What is the thing with I've heard this before. Well, little girls will have that, where little girls are like, oh, this is like they find out about that stuff, and it's like so and so stupid, Barbie now, and it's like I don't think the Ninja Turtles are supposed to be doing that with Skipper, or
with
something.
little Skipper. Yeah, I don't know when that comes, because I see even like my nieces, they're doing that. Like they'll match them all up, and like they're like, these two are getting married. Like they're
well, that's cute though.
Yeah, that's.
But I've always heard of that where it's like it's definitely like they're them having sex now. They're just like smashing into each other, and I'll be like, kid, first off, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that.
Disgusting.
And let me tell you, if you think that's the way it happens, doesn't happen like that.
Well, it's funny every time.
Yeah.
I used to play that God of War game, and there was this one level where you could make the characters have sex, and I was like, it's the best part of the game. You're like, look at him.
Over. I won.
I'm done. I'm going outside.
Yeah. Okay. I get it. You're Greek god. Why don't you fuck like one?
Oh, you can't? Because I'm not letting you.
He wants it, but he can't have it. End. Game over. Like,
get out of here.
But yeah, I think little Kevin would be proud of this stuff I've done.
Oh, I think you would too, especially since you had that dream, you had that dream for so long of radio. Just that little part. He might not be proud of all the other stuff that you've done.
I also just had a dream of being on the station I'm on now for like a really, really long time.
Yeah.
I remember wanting to be on the station like when I was a little kid.
Oh, really?
It had a different name then.
It's amazing to me.
And it was still alternative, and I got to intern for it when I was in college. And I thought, maybe just because I interned for it, I'll be there. And then the station went away, and then it came back, and then they're like, do you want this job off air? Mm-hmm. And this is after getting like laid off and fired.
Feeling
by
low.
by 3 jobs in like 2 years.
Yeah. How old were you at this time?
I'm near 30 now.
Okay.
I'm almost 30 when this happens.
Yeah. So this is you're already going through some shit.
I already felt like I was going through like a midlife crisis. I was like 31, 32. And I'm like doing the tours and the buses. I lost the radio job in Iowa. I lost the radio job in Wisconsin. Can I talk about? Yeah, I can talk about it. The radio job in Wisconsin, I was supposed to get right out of college to be like the third chair on a morning show.
Oh, nice.
And they have you go and try out, and it was the perfect thing where it's like you're doing comedy and you're on the morning radio and you're doing like talk FM, hot talk radio style stuff, morning show stuff. With comedy elements, and you get to do promotions and things you want to do. You get to do all of the radio stuff in one job. You get to do all the comedy things too.
So you're like, this is
you're gonna try out for it. And I remember I did a bit with my mom, and my mom immediately like yes-anded it, and it was really, really funny. And then I'd listen online because it was like right out where I could listen on the south side of Chicago, and my mom would wake up and listen to it too because she's like, well, I did a bet with you. I want to make sure you get that job.
I'm not listening to anything else you do.
I only want to listen when my Kevin's on. and so we're listening, and then the next 3 weeks they try out other people to be this third. They called it the stunt monkey, which was like I was like, if I get this job, can we change it? They're like, no.
Stud monkey.
They're like, people are just used to us saying stunt monkey. So it's like you said it once and people run with it.
So you're kind of like the goof. I feel like there's always like a goof on like Elvis
and
Duran
I'm very open to I will be the Huckleberry. I don't mind that if it works. And so I'm like, all right, well then they're gonna let me do smarter stuff, and I had ideas for like prank things and like sketches and elaborate stuff. But I was like, I'm gonna play your ball that you want to play it first, and we'll get there. So they try all these people out, and then the fourth guy they have try on, he was a nice guy. I think I only interacted with him over email once, but his bit was like, shoot me with a paintball while I'm wearing a pink Speedo. And he made it clear that he was definitely gonna like drink with listeners at events, which is fine. But my thing was like, I wanted to do like a version of like Daily Show Tom Green type things, where it was like, I wanted to do a bit. This is like, mind you, early 20s. I wanted to do a bit where we would break up with a girlfriend who already broke up with you for you. Like, it would be someone who broke up with you in high school, and we would call them, and we'd be like, but just so you know, I mean, you may think you broke up with Todd, but Todd's actually breaking up for you, and we're calling you to tell you why Todd's breaking up with you. And we would just go into all these different, and hopefully the person, they're like, are you serious? Like, yeah, but like we're gonna do it with someone who's like 30, and clearly they're gonna laugh about it and understand that we're just goofing around.
10 years.
And now they're gonna talk to the guy they went to prom with, and it's gonna be awkward. And then here you go, here's concert tickets, and it's like, like
here's a T-shirt, settle down.
And these are like insane ideas I had that were like playful, and they're like, that's a great idea, because everything that the show was doing was I wouldn't say lowbrow. It was was morning zoo crew, and
Yeah.
that's passe now, and blah blah blah.
I like
Something
good
like
prank.
I was like, it's down to me and the guy they're shooting with paintballs.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
Oh, don't tell me they gave it
and
to paintballs.
the stuff I did was like character dynamic. It was things that sounded like radio, things that like played to being audible. Like everything they're talking about is like video. And it's like 2009. Like not a lot of people were watching like Facebook videos and stuff like that.
They
like
were
YouTube's like
innovators.
just kind of getting there. So I was like, that's all. You theater of the mind. Things I'm doing are like, I did a game called What is Kevin Saying with His Nuts in His Mouth? Stupid. Stupid. But I took a handful of cashew nuts, put them in my mouth. I give you the answer to the trivia question. We ask you the trivia question. And I'm saying, like, who's the hot Japanese player for the Cubs? It's Fukudome. And I would say Fukudome. And they would sound like I was saying something very bad, but you would hear it with nuts in my mouth. It was stupid, but it was audible.
Yeah.
And you wanted to hear the stupid thing I was going to say with a bunch of food in my mouth.
You want to hear the gross sound.
It was clever. It was. There's a thin line between dumb and clever, and I like to watch it. I like to dance on it every day.
Yeah, like it is my life.
And I thought I did the bit with my mom yelling at me. I was like, this is great. I was like, I feel like I didn't feel like I had it, but I felt like I had a good shot.
Yeah.
And they were gonna email me, and they didn't email me. And I remember my mom woke me up to say they're gonna name the person who's gonna get it today.
Oh no.
So they emailed me and they said it was a Monday that week, and they said we're gonna let you know before Friday. I was like, it's Friday. So my mom wakes me up on a Friday. This is like I want to say 2008. So they wake me up and they're talking about how they're gonna call this person. And I don't know. My mom said they were gonna call me, but she said something like, "You should stay near your phone," something like that. Like my mom, who was, well, like I said, had healthy doubts about what I was doing in radio, was supportive to the end.
Yeah.
She was still like, well, I just don't want you to get your feelings hurt, right? And my dad's like, oh, you're really funny. And my dad was awesome. Always had me listen to like Dr. Demento and stuff like that and radio comedy. So he was just awesome.
Yeah. I want to
And
meet your
so
parents.
the worst moment of doing radio in my life is me listening to them call the other guy, stare at my phone, and on the radio give that other guy the job. So to make it clear, I didn't know whether or not I was getting the job. I heard I wasn't getting the job by them giving it to him, and was told
on air.
And I was told it was down to me and him. It was down to me and him out of 4 people. So.
And both your parents are watching you listen to this.
And that's when I like got up from the kitchen table and just went up to my room and just, I think I probably cried out like a solid amount of water weight. And then I went to Iowa, and Iowa was bad. And then I got back from Iowa, and then this radio station hires me, the one that did hire the other guy. And then they eliminate my position within 3 months. So they eliminate it.
Okay.
So I don't know if they said I was laid off. It wasn't clear. It was definitely not like we're fired. We're just getting rid of your position because we don't know what we want you to do. Like one guy just wanted me to like be the promotions van guy. Another guy wanted me to do the stuff I was doing. And it was just this whole mess. So there I am, and then I go and work for another company in town, and
another radio company.
You always lose your radio jobs in like the worst way. So I lost that radio job by them calling somebody else. Oh, this one was great. This one may be equally sad. Do you want another real sad song?
I want to know. The other one was so. I want to watch a video. That'd be a good cry.
I had a full head of hair
video.
I had a full head of hair in it.
I just want to watch your face sink. That is so sad. Both your parents. They are watching you, and you're like, okay, dokie.
I remember my mom walked in, and she heard it, and then it was him. And I just kind of like stared at the computer for a little bit because we had to like make sure it was on a laptop. And I remember my dad was behind me, and they were both walking into the room from 2 different directions. And my mom just went like this, and I was just like, I just got up and I just said,
are you hungry, Kevin? I'm going to make you some breakfast. What do you want? You want pancakes? I'm going to make you anything you want.
Whatever you want, sweetheart. They don't know how good you are.
Yeah. And you talk to me while I'm making it, and I'll listen. I think you're very funny.
No,
the whole time.
I would like it if you weren't crude.
Oh, my mom sends me links of Christian comedians still to this day.
Rebekah.
She goes, you know how many
look how many views.
Look how many views. Well, she'll say that, but she goes, you know how many cruise ship comedy shows I've walked out of because of their crude language? Like, how many? Why are you going to cruise ship comedy shows? And how many of you walked out of 2, I think. You walked out of 2 cruise comedy shows. So what's the second one?
The other one is
Make me cry.
I'm at a family funeral. A wonderful part of the family served the Dominican order of nuns, and just gave her life in service to
Nice.
children. Just a very admirable person, great character.
Who is this to you?
This is a member of my family.
Oh, okay, nice.
And so we're the whole family is out there. I have to make this trip. This is when I'm working at another big company, and it's part time. This is even full time, but it's in Chicago, and I'm not even on the radio. I'm a producer for like a network of information through a radio company. And they go through a series of layoffs, and I just hear they're going to lay off anyone within the next 2 months. But I don't think of it. The funeral's happening, and then I get a text from somebody at work. They're like, "Hey, they got me. I think you're next."
My God.
And this is like while I'm away on a family funeral trip. So the day we're doing all of these different things, I'm going through, and I can't tell anyone.
Yeah.
I can't, like, I'm just like, I'm not going to tell. My parents just had this 2 years ago. They just saw me look like very weak 2 years ago.
I can't break down again.
They're going through some other stuff. Like, we're clearly, like, honoring somebody who, like, gave a lot more of their life. And it's like, oh, Kevin's not going to have his job where he says something about what the traffic on the Stevenson looks like. It's okay. Maybe this is a sign. Like that's the kind of, like, word I'm getting. And that happened, so they laid me off over the phone while I was at a family funeral out of state.
Oh my gosh!
I think they were aware, and
But
I think they were aware that I was out of town, so it was kind of just like, who's ever not going to be here for a while, so we're gonna lay off. So it doesn't matter. It didn't matter like how good you were. At least that's the way I heard it. I don't know for sure. I don't want anyone to like sue me or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I love that I don't know for sure. But my direct boss clearly did not want to be the one that gave me that information, and made sure that whatever above her kind of like has to go through and pick out these people type person also had to be on the call and had to be the one to tell me.
Oh.
So I always appreciate.
Was she on the call too?
Yep, she had to be on the call, but it was clear that she's like, I'm not doing this alone. And I appreciated that a lot.
Yeah.
That there was still some resilience in it.
Like, just so you know, I wanted you here.
See, like all these I have to like change the names and stuff like that and say
you don't want them to know.
No, because
was she like also sorry for your loss? Have a good day.
Yeah, and but it's also like she doesn't want me to hear this while this is going on. She knows why I'm gone. These other dudes who are on a conference call from the other side of the country don't know who I am. I'm a name in an Excel spreadsheet. Like that's it. Yeah, that's it. And so here's your phone number. Here's how you get a hold of him. Blah 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 blah.
Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could get to that level where you're like, you're fired? You're fired. Because if it's you're running a business.
I've just been fired from jobs I want so much. Yeah. In like such a harsh way at like the worst possible times. And it's not like you're getting fired from a job. It's like, imagine like getting fired from comedy. Yeah. Like someone tells you can't. Imagine like if you like loved a club and they told you like you can't play this club anymore. Yeah, and if you can, you can only do it like years from now. And that's kind of what getting fired from radio feels like. And it's always like the worst feeling. And the place I work at now, fired me before I actually got
Oh
the
my
job
gosh. Do you have like PTSD from getting fired? No.
Yeah, I do.
Don't do it. I've only been fired one time. It was from
fired, laid off. To me, sort of feels like the same thing. There's other times where I knew, like, oh, okay, I had this coming. You know?
But you've also gone for, like, I've never gone for, I got fired from babysitting when I was 12 because the kid.
God, that had to be harsh, right?
It was the first time I had ever babysat in my life, and the kid fell off the bike. Ooh. Cried for like a second. I'm from the country. That he got right back up, and we were like, let's ride the bikes again.
You had to sneak it. He's from the country.
He's from the country. He's fine.
Damn, one of these city kids.
He just got back up.
Falling on cement.
And the mom called. I remember I came home. My mom was like, how was it? And I was like, it was fun. We ate ice cream and rode bikes. And she was like, I got off the phone with the mom. The mom. She said that he has a scrape on his head and you didn't tell her. But you did call to see if you could have ice cream. And I was like, well, he didn't. He got back on his bike. And
he may have had a blunt head trauma, but hey, rocky road.
Rocky road, man. It was probably now that I'm thinking about it, I probably gave that for him since he fell. I was probably being like a super good babysitter at 12. And then I think I got fired from a hosting job because I wasn't good at waitressing. And now, but I've never done it since because I'm scared because since I was bad at it at that time, I was like, so you get right back up.
So were you a waitress or were you a hostess?
I was a hostess, but they let me do like 3 tables to like practice. My sister worked there and she was like phenomenal. They loved her, and so they like felt bad about it.
You feel real bad because your sister got you in?
She got me in, and also they told me, they're like, oh, we just don't have the business to have you anymore. Like, we're not busy enough to have a host, so they let me go. And then it was just a few months ago, my sister Faith was like, no, you were really bad at it. They fired you because you were not good. You weren't fast. You weren't quick. And I was like, oh. She's like, it's okay, it's fine. And I was like, well, I mean, no. But I've always had that. No, I've never waitressed again. Never, ever, ever. Hate them. But you got back up. And now look at you.
I definitely know I'm resilient. Like I would say I don't mind being someone who's like at my age saying, oh, I've cried because something that upset me about work or stuff like that.
I'm trying.
But I mean,
to
like
cry more,
you got to take the hits.
Yep, and bounce. Get right back up.
What's that silly movie? You ever seen Rocky 6? Rocky Balboa?
No, I don't think so.
The one where he's like really old and he takes another fight. He takes like one more fight. Like Adrian's gone, his wife's gone.
Oh yes, I have seen that.
That one's great.
I have seen that one.
I remember watching that scene where he's like yelling at his kids. I used to hold you up. It's not hard you can get. I remember just repeating that to myself over and over again. Interviewing for the radio job I have now, and I had already worked for 101 off air. I was doing promotions for them and the Loop and stuff like that. And my head wasn't dialed in right, and and they were right to let me go. And I just felt like I thought I had everything, and I just wasn't dialed in.
Yeah.
And ADD as an adult is different and challenging, and I really think it's something I still struggle with. But I don't know how many alarms I set on my phone that drive other people crazy.
Oh, in the morning.
I always just say, listen, this is so I can try to manage myself.
Yeah. And
people say, oh, you're on your phone too much. I was like, I'm on my phone to remind myself that I have to challenge myself constantly. Like it sounds stupid. But
no. It makes so you don't just have an alarm clock like in the morning. You're like, oh, do this. You have to have it keep it going like that.
It's just also like to stay on time and like not let myself. I always have to crack the whip on myself. And at some point, I kind of realized, especially after I lost the promotions job, and that's November of 2014, and then I was like, I want to focus, but I'm still just going to try to do the things I want to do. Yeah. It isn't going to stop me from trying to do the things I want to do. And I wanted to do radio, and I wanted to do some type of more proper media job. And that was getting to do a television show that didn't become a TV show called 4-Star Stand-Ups. But once that happened, then people at the radio station are like, wait, you made a TV show? And I was like, well, I convinced these other people to help me make a TV show, and they did. And it didn't get made, but it was really cool. And I said, here's what it is. And they're like, oh, okay. And then a couple weeks later, I hear, like, they're going to interview for a weekend person here on air. You should apply. So to lay it out to you, there's no reason I should be on the air on 101 WKQX.
Because that was the same place you were let go from.
Yes. To make this comparatively, I'm on air for them, and I'm on air in a support role. I'm on air on the weekends, and I fill in for people, and I get to do things on their website.
You're on quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm on very much, and I'm on the radio station I wanted to be on when I was a little kid. I'm a Southside kid.
Which is
you want to play baseball? You want to play on the White Sox?
Yeah.
Am I in the starting lineup? No, but man, I'm a relief pitcher, and it's pretty cool to go in and strike some people out.
Yep.
All right, so it's really cool, and but imagine I sold hot dogs at the same stadium, or like shot the T-shirt gun or something like that. Literally, I have shot a T-shirt gun. They're dangerous.
But you think you can get shot with one and it'll be fine?
If you get shot with it at close range, some of those they hurt.
They hurt.
Yeah, you can get stung. It feels like a beanbag. So I used to do the promotions thing, and I wouldn't say I was bad at that, but I definitely wasn't good. And then I got bad at it because I got bad at like managing myself. So once I got better at managing myself, and I don't think I'm great at managing myself sometimes.
Yeah.
Some girlfriends will tell you that. Oh God.
We actually have them calling in, so that this is the perfect time to hear from them.
All right. Hi, Lindsay. How are you doing? So that is So then they had me try out, and I had to keep watching the Rocky scene over and over again to be like, oh, I can take this hit, because it wasn't like I can take the hit of them saying, you know what, we let you go in November. I don't think we can hire you back here. And this is like the spring.
Yeah.
So like it's like November of 2014, and I get the job in like right around the time the Hawks won that last Stanley Cup.
Wow.
So it's like what? Like, I was like, this makes no sense. Like, on paper, it's like I wanted to be a player for the White Sox, but I wasn't good at shooting the t-shirt gun. But do you want to be our relief pitcher? And it's like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, none of it makes sense when I lay it out to people. And it doesn't make sense to me when I tell the story.
But it makes sense to them. They're like, you weren't good for this job, but you would be great for this job.
Yeah.
They sucked out your potential.
And I had been on air and other jobs and other things like that, and there was things that they wanted me to do that were like sort of like that they had me do, like, introduce this band and do this, but I would just be like, well, that's something you have on air people do. And I was already used to being a comic and stuff, like, well, yeah, you're a comic. And then once they saw it all come together, it's like, all right, you know what my weaknesses are. Thank you for accepting them. And I just thought, like, maybe they're going to give me my old job back.
Yeah.
They're not going to put me on air.
So you weren't excited for it. You were going into it like...
The day they sent me this email, I remember it was well worded. Well, you ever get an email that's so good, or like a notice about a comedy show that's so good that you just keep rereading it?
Oh, yeah. I'll screenshot it. I'll look at it.
I should have screenshot the email because I deleted the email.
Oh, you shouldn't have. I have several on there where I'm like, oh. I remember like where I was. I'm like, oh my God. And then it's over. Then you're like, try to get.
It's that dopamine
again.
kick.
Yeah.
You just feel like you're going to
kick.
You're going to like the moon in like 30 seconds as you're reading text off a screen that you read every day. And
go ahead.
The email was like against it was something along the lines like, we'd like to offer you the role. And I was I was like this, and it's like, we've heard people question whether or not you should be good at. And in the email, they're saying, we know internally that people have some questions about whether or not you'd have the right attitude for this, but blah blah blah.
Oh my God! Did you have an attitude prop? Were you?
No, it's just they let me go because I wasn't good at being like a promotions assistant. So why would I be good at being on? We're gonna give them our air. We're gonna give them like the most precious resource we have.
There were probably people who worked there, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
No, but there was definitely like. We like him. We like him as a guy, but is he right to work here again? It's really? Like that. I remember that, and I just remember being so worried. And the person who let me go, she's great. She was the head of promotions, and I was so worried to talk about her. And I was going through like the training process of here's how you do all the programming things on air, and here's our hourly clock. And I was with Lauren O'Neill, the wonderful Lauren O'Neill, big sister. I got two sisters. I got my real sister Trish, and I got Lauren O'Neill. She's the best. And Lauren is like showing me the board. She goes, well, you have to go see the head of promo. This is the person that let me go. This is like 5 months. And I was like, why? They're like, she let you go. You should just go make sure things are cool. Oh. And I'm just like, oh. And I felt like I let that person down. Yeah. So here I am like a total a-hole getting hired.
Hey, bro, you a pie.
I should have brought her a pie.
A pie.
Why do I have a speech in that? I'm bringing you a pie. I brought you a pie.
I brought you a pie. We spent the night at somebody's house a few weekends ago, and he brought the popcorn. He did it like that. I brought you some Garrett's popcorn from Chicago. That's where we came from.
We were in Romford. We have to bring good tidings of our fair city.
We're famous for our popcorn, and I brought you some. But we're gonna eat it all.
we did eat it all.
But we're gonna.
But I remember when I went to go see her, she's like, shut the door. And I was like, oh man, this is so bad because I just shut the door when you let me go from a job 6 months ago.
Does she say, unlock
it? Why didn't you go back to ASMR voice right away?
Lock the door.
No. But I remember I was like so worried when I sat down. And within 10 seconds, I know that she's not mad, which is like a relief. Mm-hmm. And the best words of her is, you're doing what you always should have been doing. Aww. And I was just like, I cannot cry. This is my first day back here. I cannot cry. And I was just like, I am not going to cry at all.
Can I go my mom really quick?
Can I go to a room and close the door and be there by myself for a little bit?
I need a second.
Ever just being like the coolest thing ever.
Oh, I love it. And it goes, because you could have, when you got fired the first time, you could have been like, fuck everybody, fuck you, fuck you.
Oh, no, I felt
you
like...
You have a horse face, and then never gotten asked back there again.
No, I didn't do that because I cared so much about the people I work with.
Yeah.
So imagine like everyone that you care about in comedy that you guys all got to work for one thing together. Yeah. That's kind of what the radio station I work at is like, which is pretty rare. So most of what I missed was just being with everybody. Yeah. I'm
trying to really live in that because I feel that in Chicago and Chicago comedy that it really is cool that we're all. I have the best friends I think I've ever had in my life here, like in Chicago comedy. It's really cool that we can all do shows together, and now this with like the podcast, we can all like create stuff together. And I don't know, I think it's all really, really, really cool. It's like a job, but it's like we all work in the same building, but like we're outside. We're just roaming the streets.
I mean, if you're gonna do this, I mean, if I stop doing comedy tomorrow, I'll stop doing radio tomorrow. I just hope these people would still be my friends.
Yeah.
It's stupid when you just think, oh, it's all about the shows together. I'm more into like, who am I going and doing these shows with? Like, what experience am I gonna have that even if this show is a bomb and we go and there's 12 people there, do we have a good hang?
Yeah.
Do we just go and like eat something cool and hang out with some cool people and like at least get to have an experience?
Yeah.
I mean, I should be able to get some emotional tax on this paid back to me. Give me some interest in terms of an experience than just this.
Yeah, agreed. So. If you could give up radio or comedy.
Oh boy, you're asking the big question.
I know.
This is what the girlfirms of the past.
Me, radio or comedy.
No,
you have to
not
choose
me,
one.
radio
this
or
is
comedy.
better than the remember I asked you the blood, urine, or semen. If you had to take a shot of one in a shot, you don't know where it came from.
What did I tell you?
I feel like almost everyone says urine. That is the smartest choice of the three because there's less diseases than the.
Yeah,
than the
I still
blood
feel
in
like that's the one I would go with.
Yeah, urine.
Yeah.
9 10 out of 10.
What was the other question though?
It was the boring one.
The ADD.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's if you could give up comedy or radio, you have to. There's
there's a gun to my head.
Gun to your head, and it's your mother holding the gun.
Kevin, what do
you want to do, Kevin?
This is the Luger. It's
one has
German.
health insurance, one doesn't. What are you gonna do?
I brought you into this world. I can take you out.
That shouldn't be murder. Do you think that?
What?
If you kill your own child, like as this kind of, it should be murder.
Oh wow! Once again, Rebekah is available to care for your child when you're not there.
Well, I couldn't kill my own. That's murder. I couldn't kill somebody else's. That's murder. But if
No.
it's like should be half a sentence. Like I literally. It came out of me. I created this. It's like God with like Noah, you know, when he's like he killed all those people because he was like, no, they suck.
You sound like you're in your own cult.
Amen. Can I hear an amen? Okay, comedy or radio?
See, I was trying to deflect from the question. I have to choose one.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks I should say radio because I've been doing it so long and it's been such a big part of my life.
Yeah.
But to me, comedy has been something that's just there at the same time. It just feels like another instrument in a band.
Yeah. It all flows.
I would almost give up both if I had to give up one or the other. If I'm forced to give up both.
Yeah.
If I'm forced to give up one, I almost wanted to give up both. I was walk away from
and go in a completely different direction altogether.
I would do something creative. I don't think I can ever stop doing that. But I think maybe that's just my way of getting out of it.
That's a good answer.
I would. That's my way of not giving a definitive answer.
When Solomon, when they brought, you remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that Bible story when they brought
You always know the big Bible tales.
You want to know what? I like a good. You know how like fishermen like good fisherman euphemisms.
You
I like a good Bible.
And it's always Old Testament with you.
I know. Like you remember in Leviticus?
Never like Jesus held a poor person's hands and they learned to walk again. It's always like, and God shot fire down upon Bocephus, and Bocephus and his children would walk on the sands of the desert with liver spots. I don't know.
It's because the New Testament is like sitcoms. Like Jesus is like, it's all like filtered. Don't say but the Old Testament is
Are
like.
you telling me
that
he
New took her?
Are you telling me that New Testament? Okay, New Testament is like kitschy network TV.
Yeah.
Feel good stuff.
They
little
got
bit of violence. We get a little bit of edgy.
But it's PG. They
PG.
close the door. You're like, they kiss and close the door.
Old Testament is like premium HBO, Game of
Thrones, baby. It's shameless. It's got love. It's got a little Reuben in there. A lot of incest. You're like, here we go, baby. Let's crack this puppy open.
What book am I reading today?
God is good as a new day. What do I have to dig into today? For the fourth time, I'm gonna send it.
I would go with radio just because I feel I could do it longer, and I could be 70 and still be on the radio and still feel like I could reach an audience. Whereas the thing, I don't know if it's harder to be funnier when you're older, but I think it's harder to keep an audience's attention for a long period of time without them just saying, "Oh, here's an old guy saying stuff he's not supposed to say." And there's times when I feel like a lot older than I should be. Or I get
you mention it a lot. I feel like you talk about being old a lot, and I don't think you're not old at all. You're like a quarter of you have a whole. You're in here.
Yeah, but also part of it's because I'm a big kid. Like I chose all these like very creative
Adam Levine is 40. I just found
Adam Levine is 40.
Adam Levine is 40 years old. Just heard that today on the
diet.
Voice.
I just need a diet.
Yeah,
one day
you just need to do a little yoga. Maybe have a kid.
One day my nips will be on the Super Bowl. That's the real dream. We're talking real dreams. No.
Yeah. You want to know what that is? That is the dream. He was shirtless, like he was on the beach. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I thought he was like, this is a cool. It was like rock and roll, right? Isn't that rock and roll?
You
taking
liked
your shirt
it.
off.
You liked it.
I don't know. I'm not a big Adam Levine fan.
But I think you liked his confidence.
Yeah, I liked his confidence.
Just whip off his
when he's on the Voice, he puts one foot up. You know, people put like a foot up on like a stool. Like I could be here, but I
Captain
could be
Morgan
somewhere else. Yeah. I can be anywhere. No, he's like sitting down. It's like a cool.
Yeah.
It's like when you know, have you ever watched Judge Judy when she's like, put your hands down, you're not at a beach, when they got their hands up there. Like,
dude, Judge Judy has really made a career out of just being a real solid B to people.
And I bet she's the coolest off because you never hear anything about her.
No.
She's so low key and she's so cool. For being so feisty, don't you think she hasn't said the N-word one time? We haven't heard about her saying the N-word not once.
You think she would say the N-word?
No, you would think. Oh. But I think she's cooler than that. There's a reason we haven't heard her say that.
She's a diamond because she's been under so much pressure from these like chaotic situations that she has to govern. She is a diamond. And like things that would rattle other people in like a social situation, the way a heckler would just ruin it. I think Judge Judy would just wreck people.
Oh, she'd be a good comedian. I didn't think about that.
I would love to see her just host a comedy show.
Oh my gosh. I'd love to see her host a talk show.
Yes.
An interview show.
Yes.
An eye roll. That'd be great. My Nana used to watch it every day because it comes on at 3 o'clock. Two of those puppies, 3 and 3:30, and I loved it. I would sit there and I would soak it up.
Nanas love themselves.
Yeah.
Some daytime talk.
Oh yeah, Dr. Phil. She'd be like, I know what you guys are doing out here. I watch Dr. Phil. You don't think I don't know? You think I'm smoking crack out of a spoon? Is that what you think I'm out here doing?
Well, I saw an episode of Springer. They always say Springer. They don't say like the full name of the show. I remember my beloved, the first comedian I ever knew, Rebekah Gibson, my Nana. You brought up your Nana. First comedian I ever knew was my, and she was not like a comic star. She had, I found this out later after she died, after she passed away, and everyone's at her house and they're crying, they're like looking through stuff, and someone hands me something and it's a business card. And she was already like the life of the party type person. I was always like, this is funny, and would like tape SNL and like watch it with me. She liked late night TV shows. She liked so that was her like exposure to comedy. She loved Carson, and you would think, oh, then she likes Jay Leno. Yeah. She's like, no. She's like, Conan is for the kids. He's really funny. But she loved Craig Ferguson.
Oh, I loved Craig Ferguson. I loved his voice.
Loved Craig, and she's in her like 70s or 80s, and just adores him and thinks he's irreverent and funny, and she liked him because he was like British and like had like a different take on things. And our family, she's like, he's the closest to Ireland, so I'm gonna go with him. And I was like, what about O'Brien? O'Brien, he's like,
like no.
She's like, he's for the kids, but I like Ferguson.
I liked him,
and I was appreciative that she had like a stance on things.
Yeah. What was on the business card?
For the business card, you're reeling me in, was Phyllis Diller. It was Rebekah Gibson, and it was a picture of her as Phyllis Diller, and she would do Phyllis Diller, this old kind of party lounge comic that was very popular and did the Tonight Show.
Oh, yeah.
And
I know
so
her.
she would do Phyllis Diller's act
for
women's guilds, women's parties. She would go and do it for birthday parties. and would go and perform Phyllis Dille's, which is like, obviously she's stealing someone else's act, but she was only doing it for private parties. She wasn't playing clubs.
That's not stealing. If you're going in full gear, there's a whole Broadway. That's a tribute. That's not
it's a tribute act.
That's a whole art in its own. She was a comedian. Your grandma was a comedian.
And I didn't know. And I was maybe a year into comedy, so she never got to see me do stand-up, which sucks.
I want to. This whole story makes me want to cry more than you getting fired.
No. I remember the first day we taped the TV show. I looked over at my brother Brennan. We taped the TV pilot, and here I am thinking like, we're gonna be on Amazon or Netflix. We're not, whatever. And I was just thinking like, this is great. Just the fact that I got to tape a TV show was great. Even if I remember just going, my brother was like, I wish Nana was here so much. I wish Nana was here. And he's like, you can't see that. You can't see that. He's like, you shouldn't put that pressure on yourself. It's not fair.
She was a comedian, Kevin.
She's a comedian, Kevin. You do this for your family. And so I remember the card said, Rosemary Kellam, private entertainer for shows and functions, singer of songs, asterisk, only knows one song. That's on a card. How like mom dad joke is that? Like that's all on one card, and I don't know where the card is. I remember looking at, and I was already emotional because here's my, just like one of the best people I ever met, one of the most formative people I ever met, and definitely somebody I understood like, oh, she's the life of the party. Yeah. She just makes people laugh and stuff like that. And that was I just if anything, I hope people think of me like that. If I'm going to get your attention, I at least want to make you smile.
Yep. I hope your kids, I hope your grandchildren, when you die, they find that they're like, oh my God. I hope that one of your grandkids is a little wackadoo, and he's like, no one understands me. And then at your funeral, he was like, Papa Kevin? Papa Kevin was a comedian too.
What does he come over? What does he come over me and sound like Oliver?
Papa. Well, he's homeless, obviously.
Why? Am I not taking care of these imaginary children?
Well, you're not taking care of your son because you have emotional issues, and so he's not. He's on the streets. He's doing cocaine.
No. What? Where are you casting my future like this?
I'm just projecting.
No.
Just thinking of myself.
Don't do that.
Sorry.
That's not fair.
I'm a witch. I'm a witch.
See, you're using your Old Testament powers.
So I have this here. You want to hear something sad before I ask you my final question? My Nana died. Mm-hmm. So get this.
I was with you. One of the first big Indiana show.
Oh yeah, afterwards.
You want to talk about Nana cry stories? You're doing this bit. I'm not going to say what the bit is because I want to, burn the material. But you're doing this bit.
This is like a week after.
Yes,
a week after.
So you're a week
and I'm still fucking
And I remember
a mess.
There was someone we were going to go to a mic or something before, and then you told me what happened. I was like, oh, cool. And we're doing the show, and I didn't want to bring it up. I was just kind of asking how you're doing.
Oh, you're sad.
And and then you go up and you do this brilliant, and you're not just doing this bit like at a mic or something.
Yeah,
we're doing this at a formal theater level show. One, we thought that like 5 people were going to be at, and we got there, and Hobart, Indiana showed up during a snowstorm.
Yeah, there was like 200
and there was
people.
like 200 people, and we felt really, really great. And you just have that emotional high, and then you start talking about your Nana, and I'm just like, I'm not going to cry. I'm Catholic. You take in the pain and use it for power. And then you started telling this beautiful heart. I'm watching grown women and men just laugh real loud. Laugh real, like laugh
cry.
Were they
crying because it was a joke?
But they're laugh crying. They're laugh crying. They don't know who Rebekah Gibson is. They don't know who we are. They just know they're getting comedy in Hobart, Indiana. They didn't know that they were gonna cry through laughter. And this is also, I want to say this as a comic, this is important. Oh. This is a new bit. This is raw meat. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like this is not even a finished product. Like the way you're it was just I'm just melting into a chair.
That's
melting
the nicest
into a chair.
thing anyone has ever said to me in my
No, it was
life.
beautiful.
Thank you.
It was absolutely beautiful.
Well, you'll be happy to know it's never worked like that since. So it was just falling like a dud every time I have tried it since.
My favorite go-to Gib voice is when you just switch in and nasal. You just lean all of your diaphragm up to this.
I think that's what's ruining the bit. I think that's what's killing it.
Let me just tell you guys, my grandma, she did.
That's literally how I said it. She's dead. She's out of here. And I remember in my head, I was like, this is turning out funnier than I thought. And then I was like, this is gonna be my new go-to. And then I did it again, and it was like, that's what I got. But it'll. One
I
day
don't
it'll
like
work.
those people who went.
Sad, but she was going. My grandma was she was going on a trip to California with my uncle. She was so excited. She was calling us all the time. She's like, I think we're gonna go here. I hope we can stop in Arizona. I want to see your cousin Melissa's new house. That's how she's like excited about it. Yeah. So she falls and she dies in a grocery store, which is, it's funny because she worked in a grocery store her whole life, and the grocery store was called Sliced Bread, which is stupid. Anyways, she had after she died, like a week later, my mom goes to her house. In her closet, she wasn't supposed to go to California for like another like 2 weeks,
and she was looking forward to her trip.
She was looking forward to her trip, and she had all of her bags already packed. As soon as my mom walked into the closet, it was like all laid out. She had like an outfit she was gonna wear for like the first trip, and my mom was like, she had to unpack it. Isn't that shitty? Yeah. But I hope. Don't you hope that when you die, I feel like I kind of want to place like my like goals all around the house, so when people find it, they're like, she had so much she was trying to do. Like astronaut, I want to go to the moon one day.
Rebekah, you must put on your grandmother's windbreaker and orthopedic shoes, and you must travel west to your cousin Melissa's house in Tempe, Arizona.
I'm gonna say, wow, this backyard is big. This is a lot of space. You're right. Now show me the cabinets. Show me the cabinets.
You will go into the desert and you will see your cousin's cabinets. Yes. You must take on your family's legacy.
Just by foot. Don't you take a plane? Don't you take a car? You're fucking walking. You're walking there.
You will do it through the megabus.
The Greyhound.
The Greyhound.
Drinking a Greyhound. Whoa, like she'd like it.
You will stop only at the Ho Chunk Casino.
She loves the Ho Chunk. Wow, are you my Did she manifest into your body?
I remember you telling me your grandmother loved herself some casino.
I am talking about it too much. I do I talk about my Nana in King Spa. I think I'm in like a life loop. I'm like, my Nana died. I love King Spa. I love my Nana died. I'm very sad. Love black men in King Spa. So that's like all. And all I talk about. All right, well, we'll get out of here. Before we go, because you were saying before, because you're doing radio, which you wanted to do your whole life, and now you're doing it. You've wanted to do comedy. Now you're doing it. You love wrestling, which, some people understand, and you love it so much, and that's what you're doing.
A lot of people do not get it.
A lot of people do not get it, but I think it's great what you're doing. It doesn't pay the bills, but Pointy love it.
Oh, thank you.
But
I'm financially unstable, but fulfilled.
No, you're not. You were saying because you have all this stuff, but you say you're not fulfilled. What do you think is missing that you need? That you're like, this will put me there. This is the piece of the puzzle.
Some people say money doesn't make you happy. A lack of money worries me.
Yeah,
but then I also think like I'm not like I brought up. I wouldn't do this if I had kids or something like that. I definitely think if I just didn't have to worry about my bills, I could just have the things I wanted in terms of an experience and stuff like that. I also think like I would do more. I don't want to be that person that's like virtuous and say, I would do more charity work if I had more money.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have to worry about money, I would be very okay with like cutting off one of those 3 big pivot points in my life and doing something for somebody who doesn't need to know that I'm doing it for him.
No, I agree.
I want to be the person who gets rich and no one knows I give money. Yeah, I don't.
Beyonce.
Yeah. Like that guy who had the car that was like Batman. You ever read about him? And he would go to hospitals and he had a really cool Batman costume and he literally had a Batmobile, and I want to be like that guy. I don't need you to know who I am. I just need you to see something and then maybe you can do something like that. That's the type of stuff I want to do.
I love that.
But then I also feel really, really bad when I can't donate to something or something like that. But then I'm selfish because I'm like, Kevin, you have to pay for that cell phone so you can do Instagrams of what a pro wrestler is doing, for the day.
Yeah. Well, keep it up because you're young. You're only 35 years old. You still have
Thank you for saying it 3 times.
Yeah, you're once again, before it is over, you are 35 years old.
You are halfway dead.
No! You think you're halfway dead, and you're a quarter of the way dead. You are decaying, but it's slow. You have so much decaying left to do. You have your whole life, and you're gonna be
so decaying.
You're so decaying.
You are just decaying quick.
You're gonna be rich. You're gonna be famous, and then you're gonna.
Honestly, you are not gonna be ready for ice fishing season if you keep that up.
That immune system, you're gonna crack.
Honestly,
you're gonna crack harder than the ice.
You're gonna go out on the fishing house in the lake. You're gonna fall right through. They're gonna float right up to the Saskatoon province. That's where they're gonna find you.
And then someone's gonna be like, "Also, you're fired."
I'm gonna get a text message in my phone while I'm frozen.
You're fired, Kevin.
You're fired, and I'll see it as I freeze. You're fired. You're like,
fired, Kevin.
No.
This is your mother. You're fired from Radio Kevin. They wanted to let me know.
Get out of my head. Get out of my head. How'd you get in?
I use my probe.
You see, you're a one-person magic cult.
Yeah.
Using all your Old Testament powers.
Yeah, there's some witches in there. There's some
Old Testament Gibson. Back at it again. Old Testament Gibson.
Should I change this to only Bible? There's no theology
Bible
podcast.
New podcast name? Bible Witch.
Bible Witch. Let me save you. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being on my podcast, Kevin. I love you. Thank you.
Rebekah, I love you. You're a wonderful person. You're one of the best people. We'll end it with both hands. Love lift us up where we belong. Honestly, you're one of the best friends I know in comedy. I'll go on a road. I will go to Arizona and look at your cousin's cabinet as long as I get a feature spot. 20 minutes. That's all I'm asking.
You can headline, baby.
Yeah, baby. We're going.